Hello and welcome to Vlogtober day 17. Now firstly I just want to apologise for not posting any vlogs on Saturday and Sunday. There is a good reason for that. I haven't been very well. Saturday morning before I went to work I went and had my COVID booster and I was fine. Didn't really feel it, which was great. But by 1:30 time I was starting to get sort of achy legs and my feet ached, and I'm thinking, what have I been doing here? So when I finished work at 2 o'clock on Saturday, I trotted off to the supermarket to get one or two little bits that I needed for baking. Not really thinking anything of it. Anyhow, I came back to the shop and Adele and Kevin were working upstairs in her unit, and yeah, I was glad to get a lift home because by tea time the aches and pains had actually gone right through my body. From head to toe, I just ached. By early evening, my arm was killing me and I'd got full-on flu symptoms, basically. And I felt absolutely dreadful. I went to bed and I was so cold, but I could feel myself. I was red hot, I was burning, but I was absolutely frozen. And when I got up Sunday morning, I didn't feel quite as bad. So I got up. I mean, Kevin and Adele was out. They were at a show. And I had a slice of toast and a cup of tea. And I thought, yeah, I need to have some paracetamols now. So I got another cup of tea, a slice of toast, went back to bed, took some paracetamols. And I thought, I'll just watch some YouTube on my phone and have maybe an hour just so the tablets take effect on me and hopefully I'll feel better. Well, I fell asleep, didn't I? Which I obviously needed it, but I fell asleep and it must have been about 1:30 when I got up in the afternoon. So the rest of the day, the sort of flu symptoms had gone off. I just felt very, very tired. I hadn't got any energy for anything, so I didn't really do much on the Sunday at all. It took me all my time to wash up some dishes and to tidy the kitchen up the best I could on the Sunday, I tell you. So I went to bed early Sunday, well I say early Sunday night, it was about 11 o'clock when I went to bed because I was feeling tired. But I woke up this morning back to normal, so I'm pleased about that. My arm is still a little bit tender, but not too bad. I can actually sleep on it now, so that is good. I'm so pleased. It was, you know, all this has happened over a weekend that I've not had to miss any time off work. Oh, goodness me. And I don't know what injection I had, but Kevin had the Pfizer one on Thursday and he had no ill effects at all, apart from a sore arm, which he's actually still got a bit of now. So now today, with it being Monday, I'm really on catch up. So I've sort of not got, or I've not had a lot of time to film anything. But the first thing I've got to do today is print off some packing slips, and then I'm going to go off down to the shop and cut the fabric out and get that packed up and off to the post office. Then by the time I get back home it'll be lunchtime, so I will need to have some lunch before I actually get on with anything else. So I will take you along with me for that little journey. And I'm back home now from the post office and I've had my lunch. I've had 2 cups of tea, so that's perked me up a little bit. Oh dear, I don't know. I would just like to say a big hello and welcome to new subscribers. I've noticed the numbers have been going up again today. Thank you so much for joining me and I hope you enjoy what you see on the channel. So yeah, thank you. Anyhow, now I'm home. I was planning actually today to do some baking, but obviously that's not going to happen. So I will share with you what I'm going to bake, and I'm going to do one of the recipes definitely tomorrow. I've made sure when I did my shopping this week that I got 1 or 2 bits in for a gingerbread cake. Now, I don't know why, but I've got an hankering for gingerbread cake. Oh dear. But I know everybody else, like, well, I don't know about Adele, whether she likes it or not, but I know Jake and Kevin like it. And it's not something we have very often, and I don't think I've made a gingerbread cake. And if I have made one, it'll have been years ago. I do occasionally buy the one from the supermarket, and I know Jake eats that. And I do fancy doing a parking this year. So I had a look online this morning, and I've printed off some recipes, and I've been onto the Good Food, BBC Good Food, and yeah, I've got some recipes. I've got the Mary Berry's gingerbread cake. It doesn't take a lot of ingredients, and I had to sort of search through the parking recipes because there were quite a few parking recipes, and this one doesn't have a massive amount of ingredients in. Now, I did find one that was called Yorkshire parking, which I quite fancied doing that, but the amount of ingredients that you needed for it was absolutely huge. And yeah, that's the Mary Berry gingerbread one. So if you're interested in making one, check out BBC Good Food. So I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is the gingerbread one, because I think I've got everything in. I even had to buy some crystallized ginger that was in a jar. So yeah, yes, I've got enough milk, bicarbonate of soda. Yeah, we should be okay. So that is one thing I'm hoping to do tomorrow. And if I get time, it just depends what happens during the day, if I need to go out or not. If I don't need to go out, I should have enough time to do the pumpkin pie as well. Now, I have bought a sweet pastry case this time, and if it's not quite as deep as I'd hoped, I just didn't want to have to make any pastry, to be honest. But I might have to get somebody to do some pastry for me, or go and buy some sweet pastry that we can roll out ourselves. So that is plans for tomorrow. And something else I've just received as well are some nice tea towels. Now, I got these off Amazon because I couldn't find in the supermarkets or anywhere that sells tea towels just some cream tea towels with like a nice waffle effect. Now I think you can see that. So this is a nice sort of small shallow waffle effect. So these should embroider up nicely. So what I'm going to do, what have I got? 3. Yeah, I've got 3 here. So I want to do some machine embroidery on these, I think, for maybe one for Easter. Not Easter, I'm not on Easter yet, am I? One for autumn, one for winter, and one for Christmas, using some of the new fabrics that I've got. So we'll see how these work out. I think what I'm going to do first is get them washed up tonight, and hopefully get them outside tomorrow to dry, and then finish them off in the tumble dryer. Then we'll see how much they shrink, because they are a decent size. They're 18 inches wide by 28 inches long, which that seems quite good. So as long as they don't shrink too much, we'll be okay. I mean, I might just use them for display to hang on the front of the cook or something like that. So that is something to keep an eye out for tomorrow. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little bit of sewing. Now, I did start this on Saturday morning, before I actually started feeling off it. I don't think I've brought them out actually. I've decided to make some oven pot holders, that's it. I wanted to do oven mitts, but I just didn't have a sort of a pattern on me, and I have got an oven mitt in the kitchen which I might take a pattern off that, and I might make some another day. But I just thought I'd do some pot holders, seasonal ones. So I cut out some fabric for, I think, 2 for autumn, 2 for winter, and 2 for Christmas, I think it was. So So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share with you how I make it, and then I'm going to see how many more I can get made today because I need to get them done today so they're out of the way, since I'm running a bit late. So that will be the next clip that you will see. And this is one of the fabrics I've chosen, the winter robins, and then the other one is the winter hares and owl. So my squares are cut 10.5 inches square. We're just trying these to see how it works, and I've got some wadding that is specially for oven gloves, so it's quite dense. Never tried this before. It's something I sell in my shop, and it's roughly about £10 something a metre. I also sell the Insulbright, I think it's called, and that is very, very thin, and I've never used that one before. Now everybody seems to go for that one and not this one. So I thought, right, well, I'm going to try this out, see how it works. So at least I can say to people, yes, it works really well and it's worth buying, or it's not worth buying. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be using today, and I'm going to put some little hanging loops on. So on the grey ones, I'm going to use this silver coloured ribbon with white polka dots. I don't know if it's picking up on camera or no. There we go. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I will share with you. And that was how I make pot holders. Very simple, very quick to do, and I've managed to get, I've got six pot holders here. So I've just got the red ones to do, but I'm going to do them tomorrow, I think, because it's time to go and get some tea. So I will just show you that. That's it. So that is going to hang up on the cupboard, and I've done 3 rows of quilting down the centre, because that's where you'll get your natural fold when you want to pick your dishes up out of the oven. So we'll give these a test out and see how they work, and yeah, I might make some more. Then again, I'd still like to make some oven gloves, but I would also like to make some mats very similar to this, just to go on my worktops or on the boards when I'm doing my preserving, so I can stand my hot jars on, because I have to keep using my towels to put on my worktop to sit the jars on when they're hot. And I also like to cover them up with towels, just so nobody touches them and gets burnt on their arm, or no cats jump up, because occasionally they do jump up onto the worktop, but you know, I don't want anybody getting burnt. So I thought I might make some pads that just fit on the worktop, just for jars, just my preserving jars. So I might do that one day. But yeah, like I say, that is the 2 autumn ones, which are going to go out now. And then I've got 2 for Christmas, the gingerbread, and yeah, they're all the same. So yeah, just hope they work okay. And I'm going to round this vlog off now. It's nice to be back. I must admit, I have missed not filming for the last 2 days, but there was no way that I could have done. So I hope everybody's had a nice day. I hope you've managed to get some crafting done. And thank you for joining me today, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye for now.